Mute yourself.
Mute or unmute?
Unmute.
Unmute.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Great. So I welcome you all to the 219th meeting of Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. As everyone in their lives has a mission to achieve their goals, our Toastmaster Club also has a mission. The mission of our club is to provide supportive and positive learning environment to empower the members, develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start, let us all know the ground rules of the meeting. Please keep your cell phones on silent mode. If you haven't done that, you have 5 seconds. Rule number 2, if you are not speaking, please be on the mute mode. Rule number 3, please do not talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. We are all here for a healthy discussion. With that, for further proceedings, please help me in welcoming the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Vidhu, to take over the stage. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, Sam is guest, right?
Sam, are you a guest?
Sam, if you can unmute yourself, not sure. Okay. So, first of all, I would like, since we have Sam here, I'm not sure he's not video, but just to give you a context, Sam, this club, we have almost 3+ years, and we have the same members in this club. The idea of this club has always been, to provide a very warm and friendly and supportive environment in any of your objectives, be it, at a little, getting to a leadership position, going out of your comfort zone, or any kind of hesitation when you're doing any public speaking. So this club basically help you to provide that kind of environment where you can experiment, you can explore the side of you which you have not experimented till yet. So there is an opportunity to speak randomly, and we will cover about how the meetings are divided into. Today we have our TM Mod Anshul, who will be leading this entire meeting. Now, before any further ado, I will invite the TM Mod of the day, Toastmaster of the day, Anshul. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Viren. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Anshul, you're audible and visible.
Just a little information before we begin. I just lost electricity, so I don't know. There's some issue here, and I can't see.
But
anything.
you're
I think
crystal
I
clear
think it's.
and-
I think I'm fine. Yes, I might lose it again, so just bear with me for a minute. So, so I think we can start. Yes. So, good morning, my fellow Toastmasters, and I think we have a guest today as well. So, welcome you to this to our club. As as Toastmasters, we are here to become more effective speakers. We are here to better our communication. But I believe that communication is more than just about speaking. It's also about listening. It's about creating an understanding and also about being understood. It's more than just about conveying information, but also about conveying your intent. But what happens if that intent or your intentions get mixed up? When there are certain cultural misunderstandings and there are nuances around the culture which we don't understand and can cause confusions. It might be that, we have attempted to learn new language, or we have traveled to foreign lands, or even within our own country where we travel and within a few hours, the language itself changes. I'm sure we have all had those moments where something gets lost in translation.
You get lost. You got lost in the translation. I'm sure your screen got frozen. I think it's because of the power outage.
Am I still connected? I think I lost connection there for a minute.
Yeah, Anshul, we can hear you.
Anshul, I think you
Yeah,
can connect through hotspot. That power outage will not impact
yeah.
you.
Yes, I am, but I think I'm connected now. Yes. So, but so I was speaking about being in situations where things get lost in translation, and I would like to share a story. This happened to me about 10, 12 years ago when I was still working in the Merchant Navy. And being in the Merchant Navy, I've had the opportunity to sail with or work with people from different nationalities. So this is about my immediate boss at that ship, on that ship rather. He's a man from Pakistan. And this is the first time I was working with a Pakistani and not sure how to deal with the situation. But within a few weeks or within a few days, I realized that we are very similar to each other. There's not much difference because I come from North India and he comes from the northern part of Pakistan. The languages that we speak were very similar. We were able to communicate without any issues, without any problems. And it went so well that I had forgotten that he's from Pakistan and he's not Indian. One day, he received a message on his WhatsApp. And this is the early in the morning. I've just reached the office and I'm very busy working on a report. I'm very focused. I don't want to be disturbed. And remember that he's my boss. He comes to me with his phone in his hand and he's like, Anshul, can you please read what this message is? So it was one of those good morning messages that you receive every day. And I got annoyed at him and I yelled at him, my boss, that what kind of a strange request is this? Why don't you read it yourself? And then it dawned on me that this message is written in Hindi. And him being a Pakistani, he doesn't know how to read Hindi. And I immediately realized my mistake that, okay, fine. Something that I take for granted, reading a language which is my mother tongue, and him being a Pakistani, he doesn't know how to read it. So I immediately translated that message to him and I apologized in being my boss. So I'm sure we have all, and you all have been in such situations where things get lost in translation. So I would like to invite anyone who would like to share something similar or some events from your life. So if anyone would like to go.
I would like to share an
Yes.
experience. While I was in China, the language was the biggest barrier that time. So it is today. So even the pronunciation is different. How we pronounce those Chinese words and the way Chinese pronounce those words is very much different. So what I used to do, I used to take a writing things in written. What is my source address and what is my destination address, and that I used to show to the driver or whosoever I'm approaching uh, to reach that place. While coming back from one of the places, it was already late evening, and I had to struggle for almost like half an hour, 45 minutes just to make him aware that where I wanted to go. He was not able to read or understand the address which I was showing him, which was written in Chinese, though it was a totally alien language for me. So I was not able to understand what he's not able to understand in that, since it's written in Chinese. And maybe it's because of the transition, because there are two type of Chinese languages. One is the traditional, and other is more of a modern contemporary language. That's what I anticipate now. But it took me a lot of time by the time he understood where I actually wanted to go. And I had faced these problems very often during my stay in China, where I was totally lost in the translation or transition, where I'll say, because of that language barrier, things were not that easy to make for both of us. I mean, I was not able to make them understand, and they were not able to make me understand what exactly they want, or I wanted to make them understand things. So that's what my experience is.
Thank you for that. It was not a Shanak. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else want to share Well,
I would like to share one sweet little thing from the Japanese people. I was working with this Japanese brand called Eddie Bauer, and the counterpart of mine in Japan, she used to always write to me. She used to write that email to me, introducing me as Namaste Disha San. So that is so like it was so great, good to you know uh, know about that. The culture is very important for Japanese people. So she used to always say Namaste to me, and when she met me, she came over here. Then too, she was like that. So yeah,
And San is something also they add to each name, right?
yeah.
The
So
way
Miss and
yes.
Mister is like San for them.
No,
Hmm.
actually, San is like the way we used to add G, Disha G or Anshuman G. It's San
Right.
is a way of greeting, extended greeting to that person, and it's very important in their culture. That I realized after working with Japanese. And once I forgot to add San, then a project manager come and told me that it's mandatory to uh, mention San at the while you are writing or acknowledging someone.
They do give a lot of respect to their fellow people. So is there anyone else who wants to share an interesting or a funny story?
Your
Toastmaster Anshuman.
theme reminds me of the movie Lost in Translation, right? I don't know if you've
Yes.
seen that.
Yes. Scarlett Johansson.
But initially, I could not understand what it meant, right? Like, I think I was too young. So basically in that movie, there's this guy, as far as I remember now, it was like 10, 15 years back. This guy who goes to Japan, it's an American, I think went to shoot an ad, I believe. And Scarlett Johansson and this, I really remember Scarlett Johansson. So this lady has come to shoot, this guy has come to produce, and they both don't know the language, and they're trying to survive in Japanese. They become pretty lost and are feeling lonely, and such a deep movie. Then I could not realize. I was like, oh my god, what crap is happening? But as I grew up and I realized, okay, it has layers. Then it has more layers. It has more layers. I think if I see again, I think that lost in translation, while literally metaphorically it might be just translation of language, but deeply it's about say connecting to that Pakistani boss, or connect or relating respectfully to the Japanese colleague. It's more about connection, emotions, feeling, and understanding.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Toastmaster Anshuman. Anyone else would like to go? Just one.
Prashant, just a
Toastmaster
time check.
Venu.
We can
Oh,
move
I
to the
think.
next section. Yeah.
Okay, so I will introduce or rather, I'll go through the meeting schedule. I'll a revision for everyone and also for the benefit of our guests. So we have three sections. The first section is the prepared speech, where a couple of speakers will present their prepared speeches and they will be evaluated. The next section would be what we call table topics. A table topics master is assigned for the day, and they will give each one of us a topic to speak on, an impromptu, and we should speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. The third section would be the evaluation round, where everyone will get their evaluations, and which is the most important one because that's where we learn the most. So I would like to hand over to our first speaker for the day.
We'll do the general evaluation introduction first,
Host. Yes.
or
So,
alternatively, okay, we can do it quickly and briefly. Please feel free to hand it over to me.
okay, I would like to hand it over to Toastmaster Anshuman. Isn't
Thanks a
general
lot,
evaluator.
Anshul. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be your general evaluator for today morning. My duty as a general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting as a whole and share with us the report of how we performed our individual roles at the end of the meeting. And I'm not alone in this. I also have Toastmaster Vidhu, who's the language evaluator for today morning. I'd like to quickly invite Toastmaster Vidhu on the stage to share how language evaluator role will be played for this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So, as a language evaluator, I will be evaluating two things. One is around the grammar, which includes paying attention to the good usages and the bad usages of the word. And I will also be introducing to the word of the day. So, the word of the day is eloquent. We have heard this word a lot, and I have been reading, sorry for back throat. So I've been going through a lot of speeches recently where I've heard this word eloquent. Eloquent means that you are able to use the language and express your opinions well, especially when you speak in public. So example for eloquent word is in our club we have many eloquent speakers. So I encourage everybody to use this word of the day, and if anybody uses this, please give a thumbs up to the speaker to encourage for the usage of this word. Now, as a aha counter, so the second role of mine will be to count the ahs and ums, basically the filler words. Whenever somebody speaks up, like I was doing, okay, so that was one of the filler words. So I will be counting those filler words and will be sharing a report towards the end of the meeting. Over to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidhu. And we also have Toastmaster Bob joining, who's going to be the speech evaluator for Toastmaster Shaunak, and I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Jaswant. I look forward to an exciting meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So I think we can begin with our first section, that is the prepared speeches. So I would like to invite our first speaker, Toastmaster Anshuman. I'm sorry, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Anshul, we'd like to invite the evaluator first to share the speech objectives for Toastmaster Shaunak. So who's going to be Toastmaster
Okay,
Bob?
sorry.
Okay, Toastmaster Bob is
Uh,
L1P2 for Toastmaster Shaunak.
Sorry, so Toastmaster Shaunak is going to be doing.
The level 1 project 2, a generic speech on any topic.
Yes, so it's going to be level 1 project 2, which is the vocal variety. So we will be looking at
a general speech on any topic. Level 1 project 2,
level
a
1
general
project.
speech on it, and
Sorry,
to take
thank
feedback. And
Thank you. Yes. So it's going to be a general speech on any topic of his choice. We will be looking at speech structure, body language, and vocal variety, not as much as in the next level, but still we do want to see how you construct a speech in general. I will be evaluating your eye contact, body language, movement, voice modulation, etc. as I hear the speech. The speech is going to be for 5 to 7 minutes long, with 5 being the bare minimum that you have to speak for, 7 being when the red card will be shown, and at 7:30 you have to end the speech. Speech title for Shaunak today is, can you enlighten me, Toastmaster Shaunak?
So the title for today's speech is Transformation is in Education System Then and Now.
Okay, so Toastmaster Shaunak, transformation in education system, then and now. Transformation in education system, then and now, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bob. India being a very ancient civilization with a vibrant history and imparting knowledge back in times. You all must have heard about the way Indian society have transformed the world. Now we are realizing that. Be it medicine, be it mathematics, and a lot of other areas where Indians have contributed. Back in days, we had Gurukul as a mode of education system, where the gurus used to emphasize on the holistic development of the student. That covers the social, moral, philosophical, maths, science, and the other aspect, focusing more on the practical knowledge so that they can deal with the that time issues and the problems. The drawback of that system that it was only for the privileged and the upper caste people, where gurus used to select the students they want to teach whereas the rest of the society had no access to those gurukuls and all. With the time, a lot of transformation has happened in the education sector, where primarily when the Britishers came back in 1800, the Gurukul system was taken over by the modern day education system, where the focus was more on the maths and the science aspect, whereas the other aspect of the moral values, the social values, the metaphysics, and the other aspects took the back seat. Though there were reasons behind that, but that I don't want to discuss as of now. The drawback was that for almost 200 years, we followed a similar pattern which was not aligned with the modern day requirements. And giving you a very simple example, and being a byproduct of that, the education which was given to me probably few decades back was not even aligned with that day of education or with that day of requirements. The good thing is that with time, things are now changing. And let me give you a very good example of that. Recently, I got an opportunity where I attended a town hall of my child school. And I was surprised to see the way the students of class 4th and 5th have presented the complete show. They were so confident in delivering the content, so fluent, that what I'm aspiring to be at this age. They are more aligned with the existing, their curriculum is more aligned with today's requirement, where they are reading about the coding in the initial grades only. They know the concept of meta, they know the concept of AI, where we are moving towards. They are more exposed to the experiential learning that gives them a better understanding how things are, rather than just reading it from the book and writing the papers without having any practical understanding. That was to be what used to be our curriculum few years back or few decades back. And with this transformation, you see a lot of changes coming into the society. Back in times when the gurukuls used to be the only medium, or the physical education was only medium where we were going to the schools and getting the knowledge, now giving a wide array of coverage and covering all the aspects of the society, irrespective of the caste, irrespective of the creed, irrespective of the social status. You have a lot of mediums available to get the education. You have physical schools available. You have online platforms available. You have modes where you can get education while you're working. And the complete purpose of this to expose the society as much as you can get the education, so that we can have a brighter society with moral values, a youth which has the understanding of the what is happening around the world, and make full potential to make a country or a society develop. So there are a lot of aspects, and this is an ongoing journey which will definitely take a lot of time in the forms and the shape, and it will take decades to get a society where we want it to be as of today. There is a lot of improvement which is required, and yes, I mean the good thing is that transformation has already started, where we are going to see the outcome maybe a few years down the road. But it's always so enlightened to see the way the kids are progressing these days. They have a clear understanding what they want it to be. They ask questions because they have a clarity on what they are reading. They present things in a way where you have a complete background about a thing you are presenting. So that's very enlightened and delighted to see. And I mean, I say that I'm privileged that I got an opportunity to be in that town hall that day. And that enlightened me myself how I wanted or aspire to be, though I'm not a child anymore. But since the learnings which I was not able to get at that point in time, I aspire to be that now. And this is just not the responsibility of, I mean, government, but it's the responsibility every individual should take to embrace the knowledge, because that's a never ending phenomena. How we wanted to grow as an individual, how we wanted to grow as a society, we can contribute a lot. And definitely government is trying to bring things in their own ways, and that also requires an active collaboration from people who are responsible for it. But in a nutshell, I just wanted to summarize that lot has been done, lot, and it's an ongoing journey which will keep happening. And definitely there is a role from the stakeholders who are responsible for it. But as an individual also, we should try to embrace, irrespective of our age, irrespective of what our occupation is, to embrace the knowledge, to get into things and try to be a better version of ourselves and to contribute for society and for our own personal development. With that, I rest my speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaunak. That was a very enlightening speech. Yes, education has been evolving and transforming over the years, and I hope it has been doing for the better. Now, can I invite our next speaker? That will be Toastmaster Jaswant, and he'll be evaluated by Toastmaster Anshuman. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anshul. So this is Toastmaster Jaswant's debut speech, and I really look forward to knowing what Toastmaster Jaswant is all about in this speech. So this speech will be Toastmaster Jaswant introducing himself through his background anecdotes to our club to know who Toastmaster Jaswant is all about. It's going to be level one, project one speech, which is called the icebreaker speech. The purpose of the project is for a member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the structure of the public speech. The speech length is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Jaswant. So, Toastmaster Jaswant, introducing myself to the club, Toastmaster Jaswant.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that truly fascinates me, uh, how the army works as a team. The army is just not a group of soldiers. It's a soldiers, they live like a family. They train together, they live together, and most importantly, they rely on each other during the challenging times. The bond they share in build a trust, discipline, and shared sense of purpose. I was born a, traditional farmer family, uh, where everyone live together, eat together, and work together. So I saw a power of a big family where we able to uh, do anything and celebrate our success together, and they are happy. I mean, I never describe the happiness of the power. We celebrate, and we celebrate our success together. I would like to share a story that truly appreciate power of a teamwork. A few years ago, while working is a major project in my company, I find myself in a situation where success depends on if entirely on how well we could work together as a team. Each of us had a specific role, just like the army, uh, and we found to uh, trust me together to get the job done. it it remind me of how soldiers must rely on each other during the critical situation. uh, that experience taught me to whether on a battlefield or in the workplace, unity of collaboration are key of overcome of any challenges. In conclusion, whether in the army or our everyday lives, the strength of any group, it's a unity. The event I shared together, that just like soldiers, we all achieve more than we work together, trust each other, and stay focused in our common goals. Uh, it's this collective sprint that leads to success, and it's something that we can all strive to embrace in our own lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaswant. That was a very interesting speech, and I congratulate you on your first speech with our club. Very important to speak about teamwork, and I agree teamwork is very important in all aspects of our life. Um, I think we can move on to the next section, which will be the table topics. And I would like to invite our table topic master, Toastmaster Disha, please. If you come to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshul. Today's table topics would be the everyday routine things that we go through, and every one of us will have a different translation to it. So let's start. Let's start with Toastmaster Anshuman.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Your topic is, what is your favorite way to start the day and why? Toastmaster Anshuman. What is your favorite way to start the day and why?
How to start a day. As adults, we ponder upon it a lot. CEOs follow this morning routine. Wake up at 4 a.m., go for a morning walk or a morning run, read for half an hour, then eat healthy breakfast, then meditate, then exercise more if possible. So we all strive to be those CEOs, being the best version of ourselves and replicate what the best in the world are doing to shape ourselves for a morning which can make us productive throughout the day. For me, my morning routine has evolved through the years. As a child, I did not care, but my parents did. So in school, I had to wake up on time so that I could be ready on time to get on the school bus and then go. So that was my morning routine. Quite simple. As things evolved, I went to college. College, I was free to be on my own, had to discipline myself. And as you can imagine, that totally bombed. First class used to be at 8 a.m. I used to turn up in college at 10:30 a.m., request my friends to put in my attendance, which worked sometimes, did not work sometimes. I did at times reach college in the afternoon when all the classes were finished just to sit with my friends in canteen and have a great time. So definitely there was no trace of morning routine. It was afternoon routine literally. But as I went into job situation where I had to punctually turn up at I guess 9:30 a.m. Life turned back again, where definitely my boss, I think my boss's primary role was how to get Anshuman in office at 9:30 a.m. I think rest of the things I used to do, but turning up from this entire lifestyle was a challenge for my boss. And then came the defining point, MBA. If any one of us has heard of MBA or done MBA, they are pretty strict about closing the doors before the lecture starts. So 2 minutes before the lecture, the teachers consciously, I've heard in every major MBA college, shut the door. And attendance there is pretty crucial for you to pass one trimester. or the semester. So definitely, I think it's there. I learned punctuality big time because I knew 2 minutes before the lecture, I do not turn up in the morning, I'm done for the day. So my morning routine was just wake up, take a shower if feasible, and turn up for the classroom. I think that was my biggest learning in lifetime, to wake up in the morning on time, do a schedule, and turn up before time. I think the only thing or major thing MBA taught me is discipline. Till date, when I have to turn up for bright beginning meetings at 10:15 a.m., 10:20 a.m., starting here 1 hour early, I think it was accredited to MBA, which made me confident about my morning routine of turning up on time. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Disha.
Very relatable, Toastmaster Anshuman. Different phases of life has different ways of everyday routine. That's right. Now we move to Toastmaster Bob for the next table topic. Toastmaster Bob, share a memory. Yeah.
Sorry, Disha, can you come back to me to the end? I'm still working on my evaluation. I just need a few minutes.
All right. I got it. So we'll move to Toastmaster Vidhu.
Sure, Toastmaster Disha.
Share a memorable experience from your commute or travel. Toastmaster Vidhu, share a memorable experience from your commute or travel.
So I always wanted to get into a profession where I'm being called as wanderer, travel wanderer. But unfortunately, I landed up into consulting. So there are a lot of whenever I go to any new place or travel, I try to gain more and more experiences, either by knowing the people around me or getting to know the culture. So one of a very recent experiences I had was when I went to Meghalaya, which I would like to share because that was something which was different in what we have in NCR versus that state, was that the women are being so much empowered. They are the ones who are being considered as the sole decision maker for the entire family. So one cultural difference which I always keep in my mind is that when a girl is being born, they celebrate it in a full enthusiastic mode, and then they pass on the legacy to the girl rather than a boy. So that's a very different way of their culture versus ours. There are a lot of other travel stories I have, especially I recall the ones which we used to have while we were in the childhood, travel through trains. So while we travel through trains for like long hours, 9 hours train, 10 hours train, we used to meet so many people, we used to talk to them, and they were from different part of the country. So those moments I still cherish, and uh, that's it. Over to you, Toastmaster Disha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. Yeah, I have heard about Meghalaya, the same thing that, women have a lot of empowerment there. I believe there is one market which is dedicated to like women only. Women run that market in Meghalaya. That's what I got to hear from somebody, some of my friends. So yeah, very interesting. Thank you. We'll move to Toastmaster Aryan for the next table topic. Yeah. So your topic is, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received? Toastmaster Aryan, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received? Toastmaster Aryan.
The best piece of advice I have ever received is that you have to take responsibility for your life. That if anything is wrong in your life, then it is your responsibility to change it. It might not be your fault that something is wrong, but it is your responsibility to change it and to make it better. And the quality of your life is now dependent on you. It is now the quality of your life is a reflection of how well you're doing at your own life. And that changes everything because now you're no longer allowed to be a victim. You're no longer allowed to cry about what is wrong in your life. Anything that is wrong, you can change. Anything that is wrong, you can improve. And that is the best advice that I have ever gotten. Because from there, if anything is ever wrong, my first thought is no longer oh no, this is so bad. Now now I can cry about it and I can feel a victim about it. Now it is my responsibility to change it, and I can hold myself responsible for how good my life is. And the more I do it, the better it becomes. And every problem that I face is no longer a thing for me to cry about, or a thing for me to feel weak about. It is something that I can feel strong about, because it is now a challenge for me to face, a challenge that I can overcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Aryan, for reminding this to all of us that our life is our own responsibility. I can think of how in Jab We Met, Kareena Kapoor also said the same thing, that, I am responsible for my life, even if it is good or bad, it is all mine. Thanks, Toastmaster Aryan. Next is Toastmaster Anshul. Yeah. So the topic is, describe a small act of kindness that made your day. Toastmaster Anshul, describe a small act of kindness that made your day.
Small act of kindness that made my day. So this takes me back to my days in Bombay. We were traveling through the city of Bombay in local trains. If people have visited Bombay, they would know. Me and my friends, we were near a location called Bandra, and they were a couple of young kids. They were from a very poor family, and they were asking us for money, or rather, they were asking us to give them something, or something to eat. One of my friends, he gave him a 10 rupee note. He's like, you take it and you do whatever you want to do with it. This kid, he refused. He said, I only want 2 rupees. I don't want 10 rupees. So, we couldn't understand what is going on. So we literally forced him to take the 10 rupees and just get out of our way. He took the 10 rupees, he ran away. Minutes later, he came back with 8 rupees, and he gave us those 8 rupees, and he had a packet of biscuits in his hand. So that's one, an act of kindness from both the sides, from my friend and from the kid himself. He obviously he wasn't greedy. He only wanted those 2 rupees from us. And he was so kind enough to give us the 8 rupees back. So that's the incident that comes to my mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshul. That reminds me of, one day I was coming with one of my boss towards home, and at every signal he used to give 1 or 2 rupee coin to the people who beg around. I mean, this is a very controversial thing. Some people like it, some people don't, but I found that gesture a very kind gesture. Thank you, Toastmaster Anshul. We'll now move to Toastmaster Jaswant for the next table topic.
Sure,
Your topic is, what is one habit you would like to change or improve? Toastmaster Jaswant, what is one habit you would like to change or improve?
Sure. So there are a lot of habits I need to change, but I would like to change my daily routine, which I want to work upon it. Uh, in daily, in terms of the process. Let's say I want to join a physical fitness place where I can, I like to play, but sometimes, I couldn't do it because of the lot of circumstances in your professional life. But I want to make a plan and wanted to change where I could, get into the physical fitness. Uh, Also, I want to plan a day, how it could be worked in terms of the working lifestyle, in terms of my personal lifestyle, in terms of my personal lifestyle. So I really wanted to make a plan, make a schedule plan where I could, everything would be in place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaswant. They say the moment you even start thinking of having a change is a change in itself. All right, we move to the next Toastmaster Shaunak. Would you like to take up a table topic?
For sure.
All right. So your topic is talk about a time when you had to step out of your comfort zone. Toastmaster Shaunak, talk about a time when you had to step out of your comfort zone.
When I started my engineering, I moved from my hometown to Delhi NCR. I was staying in Noida. And that transition was very big. Staying in your own comfort zone, in your own home, then suddenly moving to a big place like Noida. And I was staying with my relatives at that point in time. So that was a total shift where I had to transform myself the way my relatives were living, not according to the way I was living at my own home. Second, I mean, being Delhi NCR, the distances are quite huge compared to what I had in my hometown. So commuting on daily basis by bus or through other mode of transportation to my college, spending the day coming back, and then doing the other course of work and everything was a huge shift in my life, which took me some time to adapt and getting into that shape and form. But yes, that was the huge change which I faced at that point of time, and that forced me to come out of my comfort zone. Today also, while working, after getting into a corporate job, after coming from the college, it was a total 180-degree shift, where from being a student to a corporate employee, the expectations were totally different from you. You had to align with the current ways of working in a team manner. You had the deliveries with timelines to meet that, apart from the transportation, traffic. So this is a journey where from a kid, that's the most blessed time of our life, I'll say, for everyone, where we aspire to be grow early. But when we get into that stage, we look back and always feel, that were the best days of my life. And being this transformation now to a parent and a working individual, there are a lot of things where you cannot get into a comfort zone that prompts you to get out of your comfort zone. No matter how late you sleep at night, you have to wake up at 6 o'clock because you have to make your kid out awake, make him ready. Then you have to sit on do your day-to-day work. If you have some guests, you have to take care of that. So there are a lot of things which cannot let you slip into your own comfort zone, and that compels you, and which is a good thing. And that's how we all grow and mature in our life and get the experiences. And yeah, that's only I wanted to share here, and that's the journey I'm embracing and enjoying. Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaunak. Definitely the change of place and the changes in the phases of life, the transitions from a childhood to a college student and then to profession, that definitely involves change within yourself and coming out of the comfort zone. So yeah, agreed. Toastmaster Bob, should we take up a table topic now? All right. So
Yes,
your
let's do
topic
it.
is, yeah, your topic is what is something new you have learned recently? Toastmaster Bob, what is something new that you have learned recently?
I took up a TMOD session for my club last week, and while searching for topics, I came across. I was actually traveling, so just step back. I was actually traveling, and during my travels, I found a few interesting things about the country. So that basically got me thinking, and the topic that I had, or the theme that I set up for the meeting was hidden gems. And as I started researching more about the country, more about the people and culture, there was a lot of interesting facts that I found out. One of those facts is that Nepal has the second highest difference in elevation. By the way, India is fourth in terms of the highest point of the country versus the lowest point of the country. And out of the top 10 countries in the world, 9 of them are actually in Asia, with Argentina being an outlier, which is not in Asia. So the first one is China, then Nepal, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, and so on and so forth. That's one of the interesting things. Second interesting thing that I found about was there's a culture in a community in the Himalayas who have had no animal killings within their community for the last 120 years. So they practice the art of non-violence, and for the 120 years and ongoing, there has been no animal killings in that area. And besides that, there were a lot of other interesting tidbits and facts that I found. But for now, these are the few things that I like to share. Thank you so much for the topic. Back to you, Toastmaster Disha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bob. I'm also learning about different countries these days through one of the YouTuber who's Paramveer. So he has some really interesting vlogs that he makes across different countries. He's traveled so many countries. So yeah.
So
Thank you, Toastmaster Bob.
So that gives me an idea. Why don't we have a theme on hidden gems during our next meeting, and let each one of us explore something and present that in that meeting as part of our table topics.
Interesting. We can do that. Let's see. All right. Thank you. And thank you for the table topic speeches today, everyone. I would now hand it over back to Toastmaster Anshu.
Me.
Who? 1 second.
Thank
Acha, you came back. All right. So thank you for joining in, Toastmaster Mayank. Topic for you is, if you had an extra hour in your day, how would you spend it? Toastmaster Mayank, if you had an extra hour in your day, how would you spend it?
We have 24 hours, and we have to understand that what we really do of those 24 hours, that we are asking for that one additional 1 hour. You see, it is like that 99 tile syndrome, wherein somebody laid out a big swimming pool and he put all the tiles except one. And everybody came, appreciated the pool and said, boss, you should have put that one final tile. This extra 1 hour is that we have to appreciate and utilize the existing 24 hours. And from my learnings of today, I think if I have to do that something, it's going to be deleting all the social media accounts from my phone as well as chess.com. Because I had to reach at 12 o'clock CP for a very important meeting. I spent some extra time playing chess today, saying that, there's time. And now I am terribly late for that meeting. And the guy said that, okay, let's do that meeting now at 2 o'clock. So I don't need that extra 1 hour. All I need is
We lost your connection, Toastmaster Mayank. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Mayank, for joining again in the impromptu table topics today. I would now hand it over to Toastmaster Anshu.
I hope he wasn't driving and he was parked somewhere safe while he was speaking. Is he? Oh, he's disconnected. Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. And
was I lost?
Toastmaster Mayank. Yes, you're back. We can hear you.
You were lost.
I don't know.
Now you're back.
It's fine.
Okay. So what was the last thing you guys heard? Because I was done with my topic.
No, Toastmaster Disha already concluded that on your behalf.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the speakers. We have such eloquent speakers in our club. So much to learn from everyone. Especially, I need to take a lot of learnings from all of you. So I thank you for your speeches and your enthusiasm. So I think we can move on to the next section, which is the evaluation round. Hopefully not the most dreaded one. So can I invite Toastmaster Bob for the first evaluation, please?
Most certainly. Thank you so much. So Toastmaster Shaunak, how did you feel you did today?
I feel there is still a scope of improvement, and it should always be there.
What do you think you can do better?
I could have make it more structured,
Okay.
and since a lot of things are going back in the back of my mind, uh, I believe it could be more fluent, and because there are a lot of thoughts going in the back, so that somehow disconnected me for a while.
Right. So how long did you spend writing the speech? Or did you write the speech?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So when did you write the speech?
Today morning.
Ah, there you go. So Toastmaster Shaunak, I think you did a wonderful job when it comes to writing an eloquent speech. I think that's the word of the day. So you did a wonderful job in writing an eloquent speech. The thought was there, the process was there, what you wanted to convey that was there, and you did meet the objective of the speech, which is to learn and review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose to and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So I think that kind of was met in your speech. Things that I feel that you could work on, and that are more generic things that I feel is one is the beginning of how do you start a speech, right? So your speech today was monotonous, it was boring, it did not have enough facts and figures, and it did not have an interesting story to tell. So, yes, you did talk about then and now. But if we come back to the fact that there are a lot of statistics that you could have thrown out, like India has 1.5 million schools, out of which 60% of the schools are government owned, the 40% are, or the per capita school, number of schools per capita. You know, there are a lot of things that could be that could have been mentioned in the speech. So here are a few things that I feel like, you know, when you are writing your next speech, that you should be careful that you can actually include in your speech is one, tell a concise story. So take about 10, 15, 20 seconds to tell a story. That you can either start with a story, or you can bring a story in the middle, or you could end with a story. Get audience engagement. So you were kind of the whole 7 minutes you were speaking and could get audience to engage, like how I started with this review by getting you to engage with me. So that kind of increases audience participation or their attention to the speech. Again, you had a wonderful topic. I think everybody here has something to contribute to that topic, so you could get them to engage. You could ask some questions, you could ask follow-up questions, share some powerful quotations. So again, this is a speech on education. There are lots of quotations that could have been brought in. Again, you can either start with a quotation, or you could end with a quotation. I already spoke about having statistics. We are on Zoom, so you could always share your screen and show some illustrations or some visual facts. A picture of, maybe the background could have been a picture of a Gurukul rather than an ocean, kind of give an impact and connect to your speech, or you're sitting in front of a school. So those kind of, minor things, but then that actually adds an impact to the overall delivery of the speech. So coming back, just to list it out, wonderful speech, I think well structured. There was a lot of content in there. The opening, the body, and the conclusion was, I feel well done. So just getting the audience to engage, some of the key takeaways would be getting the audience to engage, bringing in a personal story or any story of any kind, using statistics would just make it much engaging with the audience. And with that, I'd like to hand over this stage back to our uh, table topic. Sorry, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sulabh, for the opportunity.
So before you hand it over to Toastmaster Anshul, thank you so much, Toastmaster Bob, for this constructive feedback. And I'll definitely imbibe these feedback during my next table topic or during my next prepared speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shonak, and thank you, Toastmaster Bob, for that comprehensive evaluation. I was also taking down notes, and I will incorporate those in my speeches as well. So can I invite Toastmaster Anshuman, please, for the next evaluation? He'll be evaluating Toastmaster just now. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anshul. So, Toastmaster, this one, first of all, congratulations on your first speech. I know we discussed in the morning that should you even be going ahead with the speech, and that's the feeling everyone gets universally, that the first speech is hardest to cross the line. So, I genuinely congratulate you that you took the effort to come here and present your first speech in front of the audience today. To begin with, I think in your speech you shared candidly about your village, about the environment you grew in, and the aspect of community, taking the army metaphor, simile, or the actual reality of how army banks upon each other to support each other and help one grow. Similarly, how your native village has helped you and the folks around the community grow. So definitely, I think that's a theme which resonates with all of us, connecting with the army, with village, or with community. I think that's something each audience can relate to. So that's a universal theme, and that's a pretty apt content and theme that you took up. So kudos for that. So we got to know one side of you, of where you come from, where you belong. Another aspect I found endearing about your speech was the comfort with the camera and the audience. That you have a natural self to come out here and speak, be your own self, and communicate your story, your feelings, and ideas with the audience. So again, kudos for that. How you can challenge yourself for next speech, which may or may not be in the hybrid setting, is uh, like writing the script beforehand, memorizing it, and then practicing with your mentor once or twice, or recording yourself in front of the mirror, and looking at the pace flow of the speech. So starting early, maybe you can start writing your speech right away. Whenever you get times, you start say two sentences or one paragraph. You don't have to write the entire speech at one go. Then start practicing in front of the mirror or record yourself and see how you're performing. Is the pace, flow, speech fine? I think that itself will enhance your speech by 30 to 40%. And as you practice more in Toastmasters environment, your confidence and the rate of delivery will exponentially improve. So I look forward to your future speeches. I'm sure you will bring up a lot of interesting stories and anecdotes from your life and surroundings. For today, again, congratulations. Thank you for taking the bold step of joining Toastmasters and starting with the first speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, for that detailed evaluation and your encouraging words towards Toastmaster Jaswant. If Toastmaster Jaswant would like to say something in response, I would like to invite Toastmaster Jaswant.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman, for giving the genuine feedback. Uh, Definitely, I will keep in mind, and I will try. First of all, I will try to myself, before writing and before doing anything. Since we are working, in a corporate life, you must know how we can. It's very difficult to get the time, but definitely, I will try. And thanks a lot for for encouraging us to get into the more content. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaswant. Now, I think we should move on to the general evaluation.
Yep.
Yes, I think that's it. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Vedu.
Yeah, Toastmaster Anshuman, that's me, the
Sorry.
generator for
Oh,
today.
you are the. Oh, sorry.
No
Yes,
worries.
Toastmaster Anshuman. So
Right.
isn't there? Okay, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Right. No, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anshul. Since we have already done with the speech evaluations, we'll quickly start with the language evaluator, the tag team, starting with Toastmaster Vidu to share her language evaluator report. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Let me share my screen for everybody's reference. So, as a grammarian, there were certain usages which can be improved. For example, back in time, so it should be back in time. It's enlightened to see, it's enlightening to see. Then there's very enlightened and enlightened to say. There was some repetition of the words in this sentence. Then it was in a nutshell, I want to summarize. So, nutshell in itself is summarize. So, we don't need to say in a nutshell, I want to summarize. That only fascinates me. So I think fascinates me was the right usage. I'm not sure about this one, so this can be ignored. In few years ago, so it should be a few years ago. Where success depends on, it should be where success depends on. It would depend on. It remind me, so it reminds me. I want to join the physical fitness place, so it should be I want to either join a gym or a fitness center. Then total 36180 degrees, so 180-degree is like sufficient. Then there was pronunciations. Embrace is the word, and then aspects. Some good usages were ponder, punctually turned up, defining point, journey I'm embracing. And then word of the day, eloquent, was being used by Anshul once. So appreciate it. Our counter, Shaunak, one long pause, and I think couple of times he has said I mean or I don't feel like sharing. So I think he can avoid that. Then Jaswant was used 12 times in his speech. Then Anshuman none. I have not noticed anything. Aryan none. Anshul twice as in the table topic. Then just one three times in the table topic. Bob it was none. So this was the overall language validator report. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidu, for this comprehensive report. All right, over to you, Toastmaster Aryan, to share the timer report. I know you joined late, so you can give like an overall feedback about how we
Yeah.
performed.
Overall, everybody did well on the time. I think I missed two table topics and the prepared speech. But besides that, the timings are for Toastmaster Vidhu 1 minute 30 seconds, for Toastmaster Disha 1 minute 40 seconds, for Toastmaster Jaswant 1 minute 22 seconds, Toastmaster Shonak 2 minutes 48 seconds, Toastmaster Bob 1 minute 43 seconds, and Toastmaster Mayank 1 minute 11 seconds. Back to you, general evaluator.
Toastmaster Anshuman.
Is it? Oh, I think he's not out.
No, sorry for the technical problem. Right, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Aryan, for that brief and detailed timer report. Now, coming to my general evaluation report. First of all, thank you all for accommodating almost a 2 day before change in non-hybrid meeting. I think uh, now we are starting getting comfortable with the online meetings, but that should not be the case. Hopefully, definitely we'll join in person next week for Saturday. So I think whoever is joining offline, I hope you all are excited about it. And as an online audience, I think I'm part here, part there. So definitely online audience, all of you look forward to see you online or offline. Now coming to the meeting overall, we started on time. That's a great thing. We have started to be punctual about the timing. We started almost close to 10:30. We did have like 2 to 3 minutes buffer. Almost all the role players joined on time. For the role players who could not join on time, please do inform beforehand so that we can plan accordingly. So the good part is we were able to have backups just in case folks are not able to join. Coming to individual roles, Toastmaster Disha, you aptly started the meeting with the Chartered Returns mission statement, and you asked all of us to unmute ourselves. So that was pretty proactive on your end to anticipate that on mute we won't be able to clap or show our appreciation or say good morning. So that was good proactiveness on your end. Toastmaster Vidhu, as for the presiding officer, it felt you were taken by surprise that you're the PO, but you did introduce the background to Sam, who's the mysterious guest for today morning. I don't even see him right now. So you gave a context about the Toastmaster meeting and how we're going to play the role, our respective roles as part of the meeting today morning collectively, and introduce what the mission of Toastmasters is all about. My suggestion and challenge for you next time as a PO will be to bring that enthusiasm in everyone, to be purposeful, engaged, and driven for the meeting, where you, as a presiding officer, as a leader, engage everyone to be driven for the meeting to conquer the day. So that kind of engagement you can challenge yourself for all of us to bring in. Coming to Toastmaster Anshul, a fantastic debut as a Toastmaster today. Um, Again, I think feedback wise, I think you're like, as collectively all of us have said to you multiple times, your voice, maybe because of your merchant navy background or in general, is something you've is a big strength of yours, and you definitely capitalize upon it. You know the strengths of how to pace your voice, communicate with your voice, and you're starting. I think your starting captured all our attention when you talked about the story of a Pakistani boss, how you navigated the language barriers, and I could see everyone was on the frame hooked in of how that story will shape up. How did that message issue uh, happened, how that translation did not happen. So I think you caught everyone's attention through that situation and an apt beginning to the theme. However, as the meeting shaped up, that momentum somehow got lost in translation, literally. So I think you then try to adapt to meeting structure, and it then became about the meeting and less about your theme itself. Unfortunately, I don't think we were even able to touch on the theme after your introduction. So usually in Toastmaster Day, how it goes is it's kind of like, say, 3 to 4 minutes at the beginning, then say before table topic or after table topic, say 2 to 3 minutes of your theme back again, and then ending with a 1 to 2 minutes of theme. I know I or someone, one of us, could not align with you on that structure, and you did a lot of homework through maybe YouTube or scripts to figure it out. But for next time, since we are discussing right now, this is a structure you can follow, where say one or two anecdotes at the beginning, uh, then engaging the audience. I think that you did well, but say you can pick up one or two folks and then engage them, not more than that, because it's about the theme and the meeting. So that theme shouldn't become the meeting. We are practicing like being an MC for future meetings, where everyone else is in the spotlight and we are like a glue binding the meeting together. I think the glue part you did great. However, I am still curious what happened, like any other story or any other loss in translation story. But definitely, I think you gave a great starting to the theme, great command over the voice. You can think about engaging through stories more as the meeting progresses. Now, coming to the tag team, I think Toastmaster Vidhu, your sincerity reflects in what you do, how you introduce the role to how you presented the report uh, was uh, was like was reflection of your attention to detail, the sincerity with which you captured our filler words, sounds, gave the word of the day, captured a report and presented the report, is reflective of the seriousness you bring to each of the roles that you perform. So no feedback for you today in terms of how you perform the role. Thank you for the lead, taking the lead there. Coming to the timer, Toastmaster, I don't know if you were aware that you were the timer today, but once you joined in, I think you quickly picked up your message on the chat yellow, and you were aware that like you have to quickly take it from where you've joined. And I think you adapted to that timer link that was shared with you, and quickly adapted to presenting on the screen too. So I think that's a great trait. But next time onwards, let's align on who your mentor is going to be, and you can work closely with your mentor to ensure that you're prepared for the role and you join on time to execute that role. But thank you for joining and taking up the role from where you joined. Coming to the evaluators, starting with Toastmaster Bob. Toastmaster Bob, a different format of evaluation today, where you ask the speaker himself of how he felt he performed, and then dropped in your commentary. Interesting style, may or may not work depending on the speaker or the intent of that exercise. But thank you for experimenting with that evaluation. But after it, I think you did share your feedback as per the CRC approach, gave relevant gave relevant feedback for Toastmaster Shaunak to perform in his speech, and take cues from where he is and where he can be in next speech. So thank you for that. All right. I think we have covered all the roles. Um, so overall, definitely, I think an engaging meeting, a meeting which all of us um, will have some learnings to take away, and I look forward to more such interesting and endearing meetings going forward. But now I look forward to Toastmaster Anshul's closing remarks on being lost in translation, and maybe one more anecdote to follow. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, for that comprehensive evaluation. For me, lots to take away from that evaluation. I have to work on a lot. I do realize that. And hopefully next time, whenever I get a chance, I'll do better. Yes, this is a new format for me, so I'm still picking up and learning how the meetings work and how to structure uh, the sections. I will absolutely try and do better next time. So since the theme was lost in translation, I would also like to add a little bit about communication skills. I mentioned earlier that communication is a very vast area. It's not just about speaking; it's about listening also, and not just about vocabulary and grammar. It's also about understanding the nuances of various cultures and various backgrounds. So, if I can add another anecdote to related to this topic, again taking back to my previous life. It was so long ago that it actually feels like a previous life. This is in the late 1990s when I was traveling with my family. We were in Brazil. It's a port called Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. Now, back in the 1990s, people were not very used to traveling, and the locals were also not very used to expecting tourists, especially not from India. And my mom is a pure vegetarian, and the rest of us, my dad, me, my sister, we eat, we prefer non-vegetarian food. So for us, it was very easy to find food. For my mom, it's very difficult because, especially being Brazil, they did not have many vegetarian options. My dad and me had to go around looking for a vegetarian option, and there being a language barrier, we couldn't explain to the locals what we wanted. My dad literally had to put his fingers on his head and be like, moo, moo, we want something, something to do with cow, something to do with milk, to explain to those locals that what we want is a vegetarian option. Ultimately, we did find a local guy who could speak a little bit of English, and we were able to find food for my mom. So these are the instances when we all face, when we meet people from different cultures, from different backgrounds. Some people don't have the same language skills. Some people might come from a very different culture where one thing means one thing to us. It might mean something very different to the other. So with that, I would like to close this meeting, which was another successful meeting for us. I hope we've taken a lot of learnings. I have taken many from this meeting. And I would like to invite anyone who would like to share something from this meeting, or if they want to share any event of their life. If anyone would like to go forward, please.
So on the comment that Toastmaster Anshuman had, yes, I just always feel that Toastmaster Shaunak is one of his biggest critiques. So that's why I wanted to get his opinion first, and to see what he thought he had done well and what he could improve on.
Well, I believe there is a lot of improvement by the time I have joined this meeting. I feel more confident, not in these meetings and all, and that's why I try to be very vocal, try to pick up things and speak on that, because that's the only medium I can improve myself. And the more I'll speak, the more confidence I'll get. And since I already know the structure now, so I try to imbibe those learnings to make my speech more effective. And it's always good to listen to people opinions and the way they speak. It's always good to learn and listen things. You are being such a wonderful speaker, Anshuman, Disha, Vidhu, in fact Aryan, Anshul, and Jaswant. They all have a different way to communicate things, a different delivery pattern. So it's always good to learn and listen, and then take the best learnings out of that. So that is what my takeaway on this.
We're off YouTube now, so we can go offline too. Anshul, like few, finally. That was something.
See, actually, you are
waiting.
natural in it. You are very natural. I mean, you don't need to put in efforts while saying or delivering something.
So Anshul, the last part was the best part, which was impromptu, to be honest.
Yes.
Where you were telling your
Yes,
father
that was
was searching. So you should grow with
Yeah, but-
impromptu, I would say.
Yes, I do have some trouble with it. Yeah, sorry.
So I listen to these podcasts quite often. The way people deliver their speeches, or the way they speak, it's so enlightening to hear the way they communicate their message. And that's something I try to embrace, but I believe with time and all those things will come.
I guess practice.
Yeah.
I need to work on that. I really need to. I have trouble speaking, especially impromptu.
No, I think we all have. That's the reason we.
कैसा चल रहा है अंशुल?
Sorry.
आपका गुड़गांव adaptation कैसा चल रहा है? Any new
अभी
happening?
आपने देखा कि I lost electricity like 4 times. I don't know what's happening. We do have backup, but it takes a little while to take over.
Surprising, right? कि दिल्ली में लाइट बिल्कुल नहीं जाती, but गुड़गांव even
In
नोएडा.
my area as well. सुबह से लाइट नहीं है यहाँ पे, but
Okay.
power
हाँ
backup.
यार ये बड़ा सरप्राइजिंग है कि मतलब दिल्ली का तो शीला दीक्षित के समय से लाइट नहीं जा रही. पता नहीं गुड़गांव नोएडा का क्या सीन है, बट
बुरा सीन है ये शुरू
It's
से बहुत
random,
बुरा
मतलब
सीन.
कोई प्रायर कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, मतलब किसी भी कहीं पे.
हाँ अनबिलीवेबल है. मतलब यहाँ पर भी वही सीन है, कल इतनी ज्यादा लाइट गई आई क्रेजी. But they apparently यहाँ पर तो चेंजिंग लाइंस, तो मतलब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अपग्रेड कर रहे हैं, बट गुड़गांव को मुझे नहीं पता कि वहाँ पर भी अपग्रेड हो रहा है या
डाउनग्रेड
हो रहा है. इसलिए
डाउनग्रेड हो रहा है. It's very bad only.
हमने तो ट्रैक करना ही छोड़ दिया.
We have a DG in the building, but इतनी ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जा रही है कि मतलब we at times like it's not working, so that's very bad.
बस सबसे बुरा लगता है जो फ्लक्चुएशन होती है ना डीजी से मेन पे, मेन से डीजी पे.
वही हो रहा था आज.
I think 2 to 3 days we are on DG out here. मतलब it's a very bad situation.
यहाँ तो RWA वालों को इतना ज्यादा कल सबने सुना है ना, मतलब मुझे आरडब्ल्यू के लिए बुरा लग रहा था कि उनकी कोई गलती नहीं है, नहीं था कि तुम लोगों से ये नहीं होता, तुम लोगों से ये नहीं होता, बोली मैंने कहा यार उनका क्या है, मतलब पीछे से लाइन आ रहे हो, वो सब डीजी मेन के चक्कर में कहीं के अप्लायंस फूक रहे हैं, कुछ वो हो रहा है, तो एंड
So
पुअर आरडब्ल्यू
my husband is a part of our RW community. Now he's a core member. So people are messaging him like आज कूड़ा उठाने वाला नहीं आया. And I was telling him कि तुम चले जाओ. People are messaging in the
कूड़ा
morning.
उठाने चलो। लिफ्ट खराब का तो आई थिंक कांस्टेंट ही आता होगा, राइट? लिफ्ट खराब तो आई थिंक आरडब्ल्यू का कोर जॉब यहाँ पर होता है कि लिफ्ट खराब हो गई, ठीक कराओ। आज जी की खराब है, आज
मुझे लगता है आरडब्ल्यू वाले बेचारे बाकी का काम कब करते होंगे, जो आरडब्ल्यू में इन्वॉल्व है, बस फॉर मी इट्स मोर लाइक अ फुल टाइम जॉब, कि कुछ ना कुछ
आई
ऑपरेटिंग
एग्री
इश्यूज चलते ही रहते हैं, फिर वो अपना खुद का काम कब करते होंगे, एंड इट्स अ थैंकलेस
मैं भी
जॉब।
एक सोसाइटी का मैं भी ट्रेजरर हूँ। हर
वाह,
चीज के
कौन
लिए
सी सोसाइटी?
पैसा मैं मांगता हूँ तो गालियां भी मैं ही खाता हूँ। भाई साहब पैसा तो
राइट,
ले लिया आपने।
आई नो। अरे कहाँ हूँ महंगा, मतलब
आज देखो आपकी मीटिंग तो मिस हो गई, आप क्या कर रहे हो आप?
अभी मैं धीरे धीरे चला रहा हूँ, दिल्ली की सड़कें एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ।
वाह, और कुछ नहीं मिला?
हम्म,
किस किस पार्ट में जा रहे हो आप दिल्ली के?
सीपी।
वाह, फिर तो आज तो ट्रीट है।
ठीक है, किस चीज की?
सीपी में जाओगे तो खा पी के ही आओगे, और क्या?
वो देखते हैं।
सीपी हैज सो मच टू ऑफर यू।
या आई विश इट ऑफर्स मी अ गुड जॉब आल्सो विद अ हैंडसम पे पैकेज।
हाँ जी, विधु की तरफ से एक रिमाइंडर आया है कि जब भी सबकी सैलरी वगैरह आ जाए तो मेंबरशिप फीस भी पे कर दिया जाए।
अरे आके भी गई वो तो।
तो आगे भी गए, वो चल ये सही था। आई थिंक पार्ट ऑफ इट 6 महीने में प्राइड बिगनिंग के लिए भी एक चंदा इकट्ठा करना होगा,
और क्या, यही करना
हमारे
पड़ेगा।
टोस्ट मास्टर ओवरलॉर्ड्स को पे करने के लिए। वो भी अलग से कृपया
चंदा चंदा मांग मांग के फीस भरनी पड़ेगी।
कृपया 1 से 5 तारीख अपनी मतलब विदु जी को ट्रांसफर कर दीजिए जो जो कर सके। बाकी हाँ, मतलब विदु does summarize
Yes, yes. Otherwise, I will have to remind everybody
अभी तो एक काम
offline.
करना, दे देना, हम मंथली ईएमआई भर देंगे।
रिवर्स पेमेंट चिट फंड हो जाएगा ना, फिर चिट इकट्ठा एक एक करके सब।
Anshul, and next call के लिए next meeting के लिए should we discuss the role plays? Because I know last month there are a lot of changes. So if anybody want to like,
सबसे ज्यादा अवेलेबिलिटी आई थिंक इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। अगर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं तब तो मतलब रोल तो परफॉर्म करना ही करना है। इज एनीवन नॉट जॉइनिंग द नेक्स्ट मीटिंग दैट वीकेंड? तो आप नहीं ज्वाइन कर पाओ, वो चांदनी चौक जा रहे हो
नहीं।
नेक्स्ट सैटरडे जा ठीक है, और एवरीवन एल्स इज जॉइनिंग।
अच्छा, नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में अंशुमन 10 to 15 मिनट रख दीजिएगा अंजना के लिए।
ओके, ठीक है। मतलब बेसिकली आवर डिवीजन डायरेक्टर एंड आवर एरिया डायरेक्टर विल जॉइन नेक्स्ट।
So next week it's physical meeting for people who are in Gurgaon.
हाइब्रिड। ठीक है, वो रोल एलोकेशन तो वी कैन डिस्कस विद चैट आल्सो, लेकिन किसी को प्रेफरेंस है प्लीज लेट मी नो। आई डाउट किसी की कोई प्रेफरेंस रहती है,
अरे
बट
आप दे दो।
किसी की तो बता दो भाई। मतलब
नहीं, आप दे दो जो
आर्यन का डेब्यू स्पीच हो जाए। आर्यन डेब्यू स्पीच कमिंग सैटरडे।
Sure.
ये
आइस ब्रेकर।
आइस ब्रेकर, ठीक है, एक स्पीच स्लॉट तो हो गया। और कौन? जसवंत, आप टीम आउट करोगे? हो जाएगा टीम आउट?
कर सकते हैं।
जसवंत लाइक अभी सबके बीच में।
सो टीम आउट में जैसे था हिडन जेम, सब एक एक लेट्स फिगर आउट हिडन जेम एंड देन शेयर देयर एक्सपीरियंस।
फिर आप टेबल टॉपिक मास्टर
मैं ले लेता हूँ। नहीं, टेबल टॉपिक मास्टर मैं ले लेता हूँ हिडन जेम में, बट उसमें टॉपिक जैसे कोई फूड एक्सप्लोर कर रहा है, कोई नई प्लेस एक्सप्लोर कर रहा है, कोई कल्चरली कुछ एक्सप्लोर कर रहा है। So you explore that and let me know what are the things you wanted to cover. I mean, what you have explored, so that I'll.
आप अपना
नहीं
मतलब
नहीं, वो
स्पॉन्टेनियस नहीं रहेगा ना, आपको
हाँ,
स्पॉन्टेनियस
नहीं
रखना
नहीं, वो स्पॉन्टेनियस नहीं, एक्सप्लोरेटरी हो गया ना वो। तो एक ठीक है, वो एक स्पॉन्टेनियस नहीं होगा,
Anshuman, I'm getting